The space repetition system is a learning technique, and the idea is simple. You make card with a question on one side and the answer on the other side, and new card and difficult card are shown every days. But the more you learn a card, the less you have to review that card. And so then the card is only shown every 5 days and every weeks, and then every month, until you have fully memorized the card. And the best part with the space repetition system is that you can use this technique to learn anything you want. But this technique is really used in language learning. Why? Because in language learning, you have to learn a lot and a lot of words. If you want to be completely fluent in a language, you have to learn thousands of words. But let's go back to the beginning, in 1985, where the first space repetition system was created. And at first, it was just a technique with a pen and some paper. But then, 2 years later, in 1987, the first implementation on a computer of this method was made. This app is called SuperMemo, and it still received update every year. In 2026, the version 20 of the SuperMemo was out, but only the version 2 of the SuperMemo algorithm is available open source. This is because the most recent version of the SuperMemo algorithm use actual AI and more than 40,000 parameters to predict when do you need to review each card. And so those parameters use stuff like the difficulty of the card and how much do you know of the card to predict when do you need to review each card. But of course, a lot of people don't want to pay to have access to those algorithms, and that's why Anki was made. In 2006, Anki was created, and unlike SuperMemo, Anki is free and open source, and everyone in the world can make their own deck of cards and publish it online. A few years later, Anki started to make their own algorithm, and in 2023, the free space repetition system was made. This algorithm is much more simple than the SuperMemo and only uses 17 parameters. But unlike SuperMemo, it is completely free and open source, and anyone can use it. Unfortunately, Anki is not perfect. Anki was made to learn anything, not just for language learning. But when you want to learn a language, you don't have to just learn words. You have to be able to recognize words in context, recognize and be able to use words in sentences. And then an app that you probably know very well that was created in 2011, Duolingo. So Duolingo was created to make language learning free and accessible. Free and accessible, like really? Duolingo is accessible, okay, but it's definitely not free. You have to pay $10 to $15 a month to use it. And yes, you can use Duolingo for free if you watch advertisements, but advertisements are not free and can be very annoying for the user. And is Duolingo actually good to learn a new language? In terms of motivation, Duolingo is really good. It uses a lot of techniques like daily streak to keep you motivated to learn the language. But in terms of language learning, it is actually really bad. And for me, it looks more like a video game than a language learning app. So as you can see in 2026, there is actually no way to actually learn a new language for free and in an efficient way. And so that's why I'm currently making my own language learning apps, Psita. With Psita, my goal is to make a free language learning apps that is actually good and efficient to learn a new language. I will try to solve all of those problems, and I will upload weekly update of the progression of the making of my apps. So today is the third week, and last week I explained that I finished the domain layer, the first out of 4 layers on my apps. And so, of course, this week I started the next layer, the persistent layer. The goal of the persistent layer is to use a database to save the user data on your phone or on your computer. I really hope that I can finish the persistent layer in 1 or 2 weeks, so don't forget to subscribe, and if you are curious, there is my GitHub in the description. So see you next week!